Hello and welcome to the Art Market podcasts. Today I am here with Kate Thornton. How are you, Kate?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm quite excited about this weekend.
I know. If last weekend is anything to go by, it's going to be an amazing weekend.
Yeah, and I think we have the duck race as well in Homefirst, so that will mean there'll be loads of people around. It'll be really good. Day.
Yeah.
Just feel quite festival-like, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us a little bit about what your background is and how you began as an artist.
When I finished school, I went to do a really great foundation course at Leeds College of Art and Design, which was probably one of the best years of my life. I mean, worked really hard and fantastic tutors, and they really encouraged all of us. And I then went on to study fine art at Nottingham Trent University, which was great, but quite a conceptual course. So I think after I completed my degree, I didn't make a lot of work for quite a number of years, actually. And then I started working with a local textile artist just as an assistant, and she was fantastic, and she was really encouraging me to get back into doing something creative. And so I just started making things purely for the enjoyment of it. And I suppose I came up with this idea, the simple paper cut idea. And funnily enough, the sort of pinnacle, well, not pinnacle, but the start of my business idea was when I did the art market in Homefirst, probably about 4 years ago, and it was really great. And as a result, I got my first gallery, and it sort of planted seeds of the idea of a business. And I've sort of just gone from there and developed my style and grown my business over the last few years. It's been really great.
Wow! So the art market helped you to gain confidence in this sense, then.
Really, yeah, it really did. I mean, I applied. I didn't think I was going to get in, but I was delighted when I did. And it was just lovely. It was lovely to meet people and get a reaction about your work and sell your work and be approached by a gallery. So yeah, and that sort of got me thinking. Well, maybe there's something I can do with this, on a more permanent basis. So yeah, it was really a starting point.
It's funny, when you leave university, there is that kind of lull period. And I think as well at university, it teaches you to explore lots of different sides to you. And it takes time to develop your style. So maybe that period where you didn't do anything, you were probably thinking about things, but I think it almost takes time just to get rid of all the things that you didn't want from university.
That's totally true. Yeah, you've got your tutors in your head sort of saying, oh, well, why have you done this? And there's always that big question that you seem to have to always answer and justify. And I just I like making things purely for that, for the simplicity of making them.
Absolutely. Sometimes I think university should be, you can do whatever you like and then you get graded on that, rather than, but it's still very kind of formal as university. It's quite deceptive, actually. You think, I'm going to get to university and I'm going to be like really free and it's going to be amazing. But actually, no, you're not. You're not. You're going to be told certain things, and you can't be completely free because you're getting marked on it by guidelines and things like that. It's not your explosion time. And it's funny, I've heard a lot of people say that their foundation year was their most amazing year.
You're allowed to explore your own creativity.
Yeah.
And you have to a certain extent, because you have to find what it is that makes you what it makes you tick, with your artwork and what you're interested in. So they have to let you go to do whatever you like, and then you can specialise.
I agree with you. So now you've found your style, and so how did you go about then developing products and how you put those together?
When I did the first art market, I made all my greetings cards by hand. So they were all hand cut and assembled and put together. And and not surprisingly, I sold loads of them, but I probably hadn't priced them quite accordingly to the amount of work that was put into them. So that told me, okay, well, greetings cards are a good thing to do, a good way of getting the work out there, and it's it's not an expensive item, so it means that people can buy a few and then they'll keep coming back to buy more. And because I use like bits of old maps and things in my work, I had the idea that a business idea was to approach galleries and independent shops and offer them a really, flexible kind of service where I could design things for them, and that's worked out really well. And so my main thing is I provide greetings cards and print that suit the particular gallery or shop.
You do a lot of work with maps. So do you specialise that work? So for example, the one where it's the kind of the bulls and it's got Huddersfield in it. So you target stockists in Huddersfield or around the surrounding areas. And do you do that with a lot of your other stockists as well? Kind of focus the work on their areas within maps and that kind of thing?
That's right, yeah. And then sometimes it's nice because I maybe deal with a gallery that's interested in their local surroundings, particularly in relation to birds. So just last year I started selling this really lovely bookshop in North Norfolk, and it's fantastic for bird watching there. So they're really keen to do new designs with birds that relate to their area, and because I'm a really keen bird watcher, that really interests me because it's a proper connection between the map and the birds that are there. So do loads of different designs that people can use with different maps of their area.
So do you go bird watching?
Yes.
Is it a twitcher? I like
well, not
it.
Technically. They're really geeky. They make lists and chase around the country, trying to find birds. I'm not quite that serious, but I am really passionate about birds and their conservation, and that's why I use them really mainly in my work.
That would make a good workshop, to go to be a twitcher for the morning and then with what you found then create a piece of work.
Yeah, that'd be a lovely idea. So incorporate a nice walk into it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your favourite piece of work?
There's a design that I did maybe at the end of last year, but I've just done it in my new full moon range, which is a really simple sort of pared back paper cutting style. So I'm cutting from black paper, and then I'm overlaying that over the top of some really beautiful Indian handmade paper, which is a very natural stony colour, and then I've got a full moon in there, so they're quite atmospheric. And there's one particular piece which is of a kingfisher, and it's surrounded by ferns. They look like it's hiding away inside these beautiful ferns, which are instantly recognisable. The reason that I did that piece is I really wanted to challenge myself, so I thought that cutting out really intricate ferns would be the way to go. And I absolutely love ferns. When I went to New Zealand, the forests there are just incredible with the ferns. So it's something that I always want to do, and it just works so well. So that's probably one of my favourite pieces at the moment.
Oh, it sounds lovely. I think that's the hardest thing, though. It's because it's so simple, and it's that art form of not overdoing it. It's knowing when to stop and knowing when you've got it. That's the hardest bit, I think, and I think you do that really, really well. It's got to stay
quite simple.
Yeah.
But I think that's the beauty of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely. Have you ever made your own paper?
No, I haven't. Maybe at school, but no. And it's funny, when I was looking at this Indian paper, the paper that I've been using is actually made from traditional paper fibre, but also from recycled old T-shirts.
Wow,
so they're shredded
really?
into tiny pieces. Yeah, you get paper that's made out of all kinds of things, but this one's called rag and fibre. So yeah, it's in India out of old T-shirts. So I think that's amazing. It's recycled. It's fantastic.
Yeah, really good if you did your own. If you did a range where you'd gone through that process, you made your own paper, and yeah, I think that would be really interesting for you as well to kind of develop that.
I think I need another studio to do that in as well. That would be quite nice. Yeah, great idea.
Mm-hmm. So what products will you be selling at the art market?
I'll be selling mainly original framed collages, so they're all hand cut. But also what I will be having, some hand screen printed versions of the Full Moon series. And I was really excited to do them. Screen printed for the first time last weekend. And I've got to say I was really pleased with the results. It just worked brilliantly with the simplicity of the silhouettes. So I'd be really excited to see how people respond to those.
What inspires you the most? Obviously, birds do, and wildlife and things like that. So
yeah, I'm quite inspired by. I like going out and I just like looking. I'm quite interested in buildings and skylines and the shapes and forms that they create as well as things in the natural world. So I quite like that. You know, the contrast between nature and our built environment. But I like looking at the details of things and then also imagining how it could translate into a silhouette and how I could incorporate it into my work. So I'm really, inspired a lot of the time just by the things that are quite simply around me.
do you look at something and instantly is your mind making a silhouette out of it?
I think particularly with birds, I mean, obviously as a bird watcher, I love looking at the details and all the markings and feathers and things that make them different from each other. But at the same time, I will be thinking, I'd quite like to do one of you. I'd quite like to see how you would translate into a silhouette. But it's not quite as easy as it seems, because some birds are quite difficult to do in silhouette because they just don't form a strong enough shape. So, for instance, some people ask me, why don't you do owls? But owls are incredibly difficult because they've got not a lot of kind of distinctive features when you take all the detail out. Yeah, you have to really think about the silhouettes that you use and make sure they work properly.
Where can we buy your work?
www.katethorntondesign.com.
Thank you so much for being interviewed, and I look forward to seeing you at the weekend. Thank you.
Nice to talk to you.
If you'd like to know more about the art markets, go to www.artmarkets.co.uk. Thank you for listening.